How are you doing today?
Hi, Taylor. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So how are things going in the classroom?
Oh, well, you know, you came and observed Joe. We've been having some problems with Joe here.
Yeah, so give me a little background on Joe. How long has this all been going on for?
I would say probably the past month. Well,
Okay.
over a month and a half, yeah. It's just been so bad that it's really had a longer term effect than a month and a half. He's really missed out on a lot of key instruction.
Okay.
I guess the biggest thing is when he does, I know he has a lot of capability. I just don't think he's achieving it. I don't think it's a issue where he doesn't have the skills to acquire that, I guess.
It's just he's not.
Yeah.
So with that, for like homework and things, is he getting in-class work done?
Yeah.
Or is that being turned in, or does it come to homework and he's not reaching or turning his assignments in? Or how's his homework going?
Yeah, what happens is when he's in regular class and stuff, he tends to get all his work done and things like that.
Okay, he does.
Yep, he gets all that type of stuff done. Or if we have a small group assignment, things like that, he'll get it done. But when it comes to homework, basically every homework assignment we give out, we do a minimum amount of homework every day.
Okay.
And it's something that should not be able to get done. It's not daunting in that nature, but it just never ends up coming back whatsoever. Or if it does come back, it's 2 problems done or something.
Wow.
Little effort, you can tell that you probably tried doing it right before class or something.
So this homework, is that a lot of times like homework that he needs to be doing at home, or is it during? Okay.
Yeah, and it could be. Like I said, I think he has the skills and he's at the level that he could be doing it by himself. But I mean, there's some course, with any child that they probably need their parents' help a little bit. I would assume.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How are his parents? Are they?
I've had him in for a couple conferences, with the parent-teacher conferences, and also I've called them in for one time. Oh, it was a phone conference and stuff, and they came, and then they ended up, they both were on the line, and I just talked to them about what was going on and things like that, and they're in there, they're talking to me. They have the same concerns as well.
Oh, awesome.
They made one comment that was a little odd to me, at least a little bit, and they said that they would take a belt to him at home if he doesn't. End up straightening up. So that was a little odd, I guess, to say.
All right. Well, we probably should address that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want that to happen. Does he have any maybe brothers or sisters at home?
I'm 99% sure that he has 4 other brothers at home.
Okay. So there we go. Well, let's see. I think one of our main topics that we need to work on with Joe is definitely his homework completion. My suggestion for that is maybe we get some type of reward system going. Should I keep going? Okay. We need to get maybe an award system and get his parents on board with this. We definitely want to stay far away from his parents taking a belt to him at home. My only concern is maybe with his 4 other brothers, maybe they are addressing the brothers' concerns and homework rather than focusing on Joe. So
I think they're in high school, so I could see that.
Okay, so they probably have more academic problems, and maybe they're busy with athletics or. So maybe we should call his parents in, and we could set up a meeting, and I'd be more than willing to come, and we could talk maybe if we would start to implement like a reward system between every assignment he gets done, we can give him a check mark, and then it can go back, or it can be like in a folder, so then at home he can get a check mark as well, and once he gets maybe 5 for now, get some type of reward. I noticed that he got along with all of his peers, so maybe like a simple reward could be like 5 minutes of extra recess with a peer of his choice.
Yeah, he really does like recess and stuff.
Okay, so maybe that would kind of give him just 5 more minutes of a break, because when I came and observed, it just looked, he could not focus.
Yeah. He really seems to always be like bobbing his head, or it seems like he's listening to music or something like that. Yeah, so I don't think
so maybe those 5 extra minutes would help him. One other thing I noticed in the class, this is just one of my suggestions that other teachers have done, since all of your desks are in rows, so he's sitting by his peers, and I think what he wants is to get that class clown title, because everybody was laughing, and he was just egging you on to find a humorous answer. So maybe if we change the layout where they're separated, and maybe, but this is my only question, would we want Joe in the front by you, but then all of his peers could see when he's goofing off, or we want him in the back so none of his peers could see, but then you would still struggle?
Yeah, I think personally, I think that if we had him towards the front, I think that'd be a good idea because then maybe we can try that. So if he can't personally, other than his peripherals, so his left and his right, he can't see, students in front of him. So maybe he'll stop trying to be such a, class clown because he won't have that satisfaction of people turning around trying to look at him.
Right, and then also with that, you could start to implement maybe a nonverbal cue. Because I noticed when you would stop instruction, he wanted the class to be involved and be laughing. And then how long did that take you to regroup the whole entire class? So if he was up front, then maybe if you notice that he was getting off task, we could maybe just put a little sticky note, and for every time you have to walk over him, just give him a simple little check, and then he'll know, like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And we could have some type of
like after
behavior
checks,
strategy after every 3 checks. Yep. That would be something that we could also work on with his parents to see if they have any ideas or suggestions as to what type of behavior management plan we could put in place. Because in your email that you sent me, his parents are pretty strict.
Yeah, they are.
So,
I think the belt comment kind of helps.
Yeah, the belt comment kind of scares me a little bit.
Too strict, yeah.
But maybe, if he's displaying these behaviors at home, maybe they take away 5 minutes of TV, and then we could maybe a quick email home, or we could get Joe a folder that communicates with us and his parents back. We could tell them, Joe had 4 check marks today, 10 minutes of no TV, or we could then in return implement something at school, just because if he has 4 other brothers, I don't know how well this is all going to be implemented at home, because I kind of feel like his parents might have a lot going on.
Yeah, really busy.
So another thing that I was curious about is, sorry, I'm reading over my notes that I got here. What are some ways, I'm wondering, that we could have a peer maybe help monitor his behavior?
Yeah, he really has a really strong connection with Tom, I think. And Tom seems to be a student that he seems to be really good friends with him to the point where he doesn't feel the need to quote unquote like show off for him. I guess you know what I mean. Like,
so he really looks up to Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I feel like if and Tom is one of my really good students when it comes to behavior wise. He's just kind of average grades wise. But I feel like it could be a mutually benefiting relationship because I really think Joe is really an exceptional student. So I think maybe if they both could work on stuff, and at that point in time, Joe wouldn't be so worried about trying to impress Tom, while at the same time Tom can learn some things from Joe and do vice versa on it.
Right. So maybe what I'm thinking, if you agree, we could say that we place Joe right here, or wherever, in the front of the room, and maybe if we put Tom over, maybe close to him, your desk over here, so then if you're over here in the classroom or doing, you're so busy too, but Tom would serve as kind of that backup teacher, so then we could get a reward in place with both of them, with Joe and Tom, have them come and maybe, if they were to think of something to help Joe, because I think then Joe would be like, okay, if I have Tom, who's my friend but is also helping me monitor this, I'm hoping and I'm thinking that Tom could kind of have that, how do I want to say this? Nobody really wants to embarrass their friends or get upset with their friends, so he could serve as kind of a good role model to do this. Okay.
Lines up naturally.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I would say if you're free next week, we can line up a meeting with his parents first.
We can maybe probably call Tom's parents to make sure they're okay with this whole idea.
So let's say we'll meet with Joe's parents first and go over this with him, or with them, excuse me, and then from there we could get Tom's parents. I want to make sure that they're okay with this first before Tom goes running home, and then we could pull Tom and Joe aside.
Explain what's going on. Okay.
All right. Well, I will look at my calendar and I will send you an email then when would work with Joe's parents, and then since you know them pretty well, you could contact them and we can kind of go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.